The early morning sky over the English Channel was a patchwork of steel-grey clouds and the distant thunder of war. June 6, 1944, D-Day. The largest amphibious invasion in history was underway. Thousands of Allied troops were storming the beaches of Normandy, and every moment counted. Chaos reigned, radios crackled with interference, and the fog of war made communication almost impossible. But high above the smoke and gunfire, a small, determined pigeon soared with a mission that could shift the tide of history. His name was Gustav. Gustav was no ordinary bird. He was one of over 250,000 pigeons used by British forces during World War II, specially trained by the National Pigeon Service to carry messages through enemy territory when other lines of communication were down. He was a sleek, blue-gray homing pigeon, calm under pressure and lightning fast in the air. Gustav was assigned to Reuters war correspondent Montague Taylor, who was embedded with the Allied troops on a landing craft headed for Sword Beach. Taylor knew what was at stake. If the troops landed safely and began their advance, London needed to know immediately. But radio silence was crucial to avoid revealing their position to the enemy. That's where Gustav came in. At 8:30 a.m., amidst gunfire, crashing waves, and the roar of tanks rolling onto French soil, Taylor scribbled a short but vital message, describing the successful landings and the fierce resistance being met. He carefully placed the note into a tiny secure canister strapped to Gustav's leg. With steady hands, Taylor lifted the bird and whispered, "Fly fast, little one. The world is waiting." Then, with a powerful beat of his wings, Gustav launched into the wind, rising above the mayhem below. It was a 150-mile journey across open sea, enemy skies, and uncertain weather. Any number of threats could have taken him down: German falcons, unpredictable storms, or simply exhaustion. But Gustav flew on. After more than 5 hours of non-stop flight, Gustav reached his home loft at the RAF Pigeon Reception Center in Thorney Island, Hampshire. Dirty, tired, and wind-blown, he landed with purpose. The handlers quickly removed the message and rushed it to military command. The note read, "We are just 20 miles off the beaches. First assault troops landed 0750. No interference from enemy gunfire on beach. Steaming steadily in formation. Lightnings, typhoons, fortresses crossing since 0545. No enemy aircraft seen." It was the first official report from the Normandy beaches, before any radio signal made it back. Because of Gustav, British High Command knew that the landings had begun and were progressing. His flight helped coordinate the next steps in real time. In a day of uncertainty, Gustav brought clarity. For his service, Gustav was awarded the Dickin Medal, often called the animal equivalent of the Victoria Cross. The medal was presented by the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, PDSA, in 1944, and Gustav became the first pigeon ever to receive the honor. The inscription on his medal read, "For delivering the first message from the Normandy beaches from a ship off the beachhead while serving with the RAF on June 6, 1944. After the war, Gustav retired to a peaceful loft in England, far from the thunder of warplanes and gunfire. He lived out the rest of his days in comfort, often perched with his head held high, as if remembering that one moment when the fate of thousands rested on his tiny wings. He passed away quietly, but his legacy remains etched in history. Today, Gustav's story is a reminder that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, even ones with feathers. His flight on D-Day stands as a symbol of courage, resilience, and the vital role that animals have played in human history. A statue honoring war pigeons, including Gustav, stands proudly in the UK, and his name lives on among the most honored of wartime messengers. So the next time you see a pigeon flying overhead, remember, one of their kind once carried hope across the sea, and helped shape the course of freedom. Thanks for watching this true story of Gustav, the D-Day pigeon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Heroic Tales and Wings for more amazing stories of animals who made history.